Okay, so fifth-year safety that ranked one of the best safeties in the league right now. So second-round pick in 2018 for the Cincinnati Bengals in the NFL draft. 408 total tackles, 119 assists, 10 interceptions, and 152 yards, correct?
Yeah, I mean, they're leaving out the playoffs right there at the back end. So it's a couple more interceptions in there and a couple more tackles for sure. But
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been,
I believe it.
It's been a good couple years for me, for sure.
Right. So everybody knows who Jessie Bates is, and even, of course, in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I mean, like, kind of like the big star here.
Right.
So who is exactly Jessie Bates outside of football?
Yeah, I would say a super humble man, somebody that's been raised by a single mother. So I know what hard work looks like. I know what dedication looks like. Like I said, I'm family-oriented. I like to be around my family. And just work hard. I don't really care about the extra stuff because I know that can cloud up a lot of the, your goals, your dreams. So I just try to stay humble, keep my small circle, keep my friends close, just show each other what hard work looks like and what that can get you. And it's worked out pretty well for me so far. So I'm excited for, the future because I know I've done a lot to get to where I am, but I'm not done at all. So
that's perfect. And just asking just a little personal question. So do you have like a pet peeve or multiple if you want to state multiple?
As far as pet peeves go, I don't really have any pet peeves. I'm super clean. I like being clean. So when people leave dishes in the, in the sink or something, or toothpaste in the sink, I think that bothers me a little bit. But I think that comes from being raised by a single mother.
Mom, yeah.
She was always on me about that. So I would probably say that's my pet peeve for sure.
Okay, yeah, that's like pretty normal. So even I was talking to him about, of course, you being family-oriented, very much of a family man. So right now you're young, but of course you do plan on starting a family and, having kids. Do you know, like, how many you want?
I think you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
So
I mean, everybody has a limit to where they want to stop.
I can say I want 3 kids, and then maybe, I have my 3 kids, and my wife may want some more. So I think that doesn't really weigh on all my opinion.
Right.
It doesn't really matter what I want. And almost, sometimes accidents happen.
Yeah.
So I would probably want like 3 kids, but that's later on in the future. So
let
we'll
me
see what
ask
happens.
this in addition to that question. Is there a possible special lady that you're considering wiping up?
Yeah. I got a good idea. I'm just trying to take care of my family first. Put my friends, put my family in position to have success, to where I don't have to be there for them. It's a weird journey when you're trying to reach, the ultimate goal, which was the NFL. And then you get there and you just don't stop. You just continue to make goals and try to get to the point where you get a new contract.
Yeah.
Some life-changing money where you can impact your family. That's kind of been my mindset, throughout my whole life. So I haven't been able to focus on that aspect of my life as much, focusing on having a girl.
Yeah.
More of my mindset have been take care of the family. So yeah, once I get my contract, I think I'll be able to focus on that side and focus on a little bit
generational wealth,
me personally. So yeah, it's a process though. You know what I'm saying? I don't got it all figured out. I might seem like I do, but it's a process just like anything else.
Of course. I mean, like everybody say, it's not a sprint. It's definitely a marathon.
Exactly.
So just looking up a little more information about you. You played 3 sports in high school.
Yeah.
Just looking more up that information. Wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Definitely hard. Earned freshman All-American, earned all ACC honors at Wake Forest, So was going to the league like the ultimate goal, or was you also interested in the NBA?
Yeah. I think the way it kind of all started with me playing 3 sports was simply just keeping myself busy. I think my mom kind of did it to kind of get me out of her hands a couple times so she can go to work, work her couple jobs that she had, and put me in multiple sports. And I kind of just fell in love with everything. I just had that natural feel. I knew what the game was. I knew what it took to be successful in each, basketball, football, and baseball.
Right.
I knew, the game inside and out. And, I've never been the biggest. I've never been the strongest. I'm still not the biggest or the strongest or the fastest. But I just have that natural feel for the game, doing my own work and learning from the good, learning from the bad. Not just in sports as well. It's just in life as well. Just learning from different experiences that we see growing up in Fort Wayne.
Yes.
Just like anything else. Like we say, it's a blessing to be from Fort Wayne and be able to learn from the experiences that I've seen growing up. It's made me who I am today. So
Right.
I'm super thankful for it, for sure.
That's great. I love it. So the night when you got that phone call, second round, 54th pick.
Yeah.
So obviously you
Tough.
had the whole village behind you. I mean,
It was a tough time.
a lot of people. So how did you feel and what was going through your head at that time?
Yeah. You work, like I said, you work up all of those years. Sometimes you sacrifice hanging around friends, hanging around even family members.
Yes.
Like I said, I value that. I value my time with my family, and I haven't been there. I haven't really been home for holidays and stuff like that. So just being able to have my whole village come back and enjoy that night with me, it meant so much to me because I know how much my grandma, my aunties, cousins, how much they had to do with my success as well. So for them to be there with me when I got that phone call, I can get emotional right now just thinking about just the feel that I had. It wasn't like they called my name up there. They called my whole family name up there, and it meant a lot to me. And like I said, it just continued to motivate me for better. What is the next goal that I can set for myself to continue to raise the standard for my family, Fort Wayne, people that I come into contact every day.
Right.
So like I said, it's a blessing to be a blessing.
Very much.
And like I said, it's nice to be able to give back to the people that sacrificed for me. So.
Absolutely. I definitely agree. So a lot of athletes that come here, they see you grinding, they see you working, So a lot of the questions that will spark up is, how did you do it? Of course, you played 3 sports. Of course, even on your off season, you still grinding, you still working.
Yeah.
So exactly how did you get from being this small town boy from Fort Wayne, Indiana, to this big NFL player?
Yeah, I can easily take the credit. I can easily hey, I was focused. I was so determined. But honestly, it was the people around me. I was able to surround myself with good people. Sometimes you can't control who you're surrounded by as far as family members and stuff like that. So sometimes that can be tough.
Right.
But being able to eliminate and be aware of what was a distraction, what wasn't a distraction, who was pushing me, who wasn't pushing me, and being aware of that and honing in on what was right for me eventually came to having some success.
Absolutely.
But like I said, it's not what I did. It's just simply with the people around me, how they raised me. I can talk about Metro coaches that I simply just, the way they coached me, the way they instilled principles in me is the reason why I am the way I am today. So, I know I keep saying, I almost keep repeating the same thing.
Even I love how you said that because even looking at the podcast that you were doing as well, you mentioned that talent talent gets you through the door, but character keeps you there.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I fully agree with that because, you know, you can be the best football player on the field, however, but you're not coachable.
Yep.
So
And
I
that's
definitely
and that's
agree
exactly
with you.
what I'm saying. Is once you see how, you know, your family members, how your close friends are moving around you, and you see how you should be moving,
Yeah.
I think it eliminates all the gray area, eliminates all the, like I said, the distractions that we all have. It's not like stuff isn't there.
Right.
We all have access to it at some point. It's just
You're going to go out and
it's
get
just
it.
all about who can all go out there and get it, and who also can stay focused and not be so distracted. So
Right. Absolutely. So why should they choose you? So what separates you from your teammates? What separates you from your competitors?
yeah, I think you had talked about it when you were talking about character.
Yeah.
I think I just do a really good job of just being aware, paying attention to what's going on around me. I do my work. I make sure I do. I make sure I don't go in trying to get ready.
Right.
I make sure I do the work before I have to go in, so I don't look crazy when I'm walking
Stay ready
in there.
so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
and then also, like I said, the character part, just being able to be a leader to my teammates,
Right.
being able to have that connection, being able to talk to people.
Yeah.
I think has helped me get my foot in the door. Because I mean, that plays a big part of it. Being able to communicate, being able to gain trust in people. I think that's the biggest thing. That's what kind of separates me. It's my preparation, like I said, preparation and character.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that because even looking at how other people speak about you is definitely positive. They say you're a
Appreciate
really upbeat, bright person.
Appreciate that.
I'm thankful that I got to witness it. Like even me coming in here, like we had a conversation, like we knew each other,
Right,
and like
never even
never met each other.
Right.
So I'm definitely thankful for that
Yeah,
opportunity.
and I mean, it hasn't always been like that.
Yeah.
You know, I've went through when I was at Village Elementary, I got kicked out of there. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't always been this calm Jessie and have it all figured out. So like I said, you got to be able to know when you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong, and you'll have time to, you know, adjust and do the right things. But, yeah, I mean, if you act like you're naive to it and you're just going to keep doing the same thing over and over,
Right.
I mean, it's hard to have success like that. So I forget what they say. It's like if you keep doing the same thing, it's insanity or something like that. So
Yeah, I think
I forget the quotes. I'm not too good with quotes or anything. I just talk what's
Yeah,
on
I
my
definitely
mind.
understand it. It becomes repetitive.
Yeah, no, for real. It really do. It really do.
So, how did you feel about taking on that representative position? I know that you also mentioned before that Gino passed it down to you.
Yeah. So that was almost a weird situation where the NFLPA representation, like they pick one player to represent your whole entire team. I had some help of other teammates to kind of help me take that leadership role.
Why you kind of feel like you were like the one to be picked?
Yeah. I think it's simply because I was able to build a relationship with some of the older guys. I was able to learn from the older guys, learn from, you know, what was, you know, the right thing to do in the league, what was the wrong thing to do. And like I said, I walked in there and I was humble. I went in there and worked, and I think I gained the respect from not just Gino, from a lot of the guys on my team. So
Right.
I think that's what came in with that. So yeah.
That's great. I love it. So, how was it working with Joe and the other team, team players
Yep.
from then and now? So, how would you describe that relationship?
Yeah. You know, sometimes on teams you don't really you don't hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
But this past year we had a really good team that was very well connected.
Yeah.
And usually when you have a connected team, you have some success. So nobody expected us to have a good year last year, besides the people that was in that locker room, the people that knew what we were building throughout, training camp, OTAs, and then leading up to the season. Just having guys like Joe Burrow. I mean, if you met Joe Burrow and sat down and have a talk with Joe Burrow, you would be very impressed with who he is and what he represents. There's just a lot of guys, like I said, you get in the league a lot of times and guys almost feel complacent. They don't feel like there's nothing else that they kind of like what comes with being in the NFL instead of putting in the work. And
right.
going
like, hey, I'm just here,
exactly.
but I'm here to actually.
So I think that's what leaders do. I think it was good that had a guy like Joe Burrow, myself, Sam Hubbard. I can name Von Bell. There's a lot of guys on that team that that could have been captains or leaders on that team.
Right.
That may have just been in the background, just being cool and just doing their part. It just really it set the culture for what we were about. And it had a lot to do with Joe Burrow and, some of the leaders that were on our team. So.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what is your way of eliminating distractions on and off the field as a professional athlete?
Yeah. Well, I have a management team. So I'm repping my ride, sports advisors. So I'm able to have my quarterly meetings with them, where I identify my strengths, my weaknesses, the opportunities, my threats. I think, like I said, being aware, being ahead of the curve of just knowing what's going on in your life, whether that's your budget, whether that's just you personally, who you're trying to become, what is your vision. I think that all kind of comes into play.
Right.
Because like I said, you walk into the NFL, you walk into some money. You're making a lot of money I was coming in at 20 years old, making, millions of dollars. And it's easy for you to kind of fall off. It's easy for you to kind of get caught up in the distractions.
Oh, yeah.
But I thank God, man. I thank God that I had the right people in my circle. Like, I still have the right people in my circle, because every day it's a fight. Any day, you read on the articles, you read on TV every day, where there's professional athletes getting in trouble. Whether that's any type of assault, what I'm saying? Just a lot of the money could really cloud up your mind and everything that you've been taught your whole life. So just staying grounded. I had tweeted something the other day. I said, stay true. I was really just saying, stay true to yourself. Stay down, stay grounded, and just take care of what you got to take care of every single day. And
absolutely,
some good things gonna happen for you for sure. I think so many people get caught up into having that instant gratification. They want everything right now.
Right.
But really,
you don't want to work for it.
Yeah, it's a whole process. You gotta go at it every single day. And like I said, it's hard for you to do that if you don't have the right people, if you don't have the right values, you don't have the right team surrounded around you. So, like I said, it's easy for me to sit up here and talk about Jessie Bates, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that don't get enough credit for who I am today. So
right. And I'm so glad you said that, even with it's so easy to fall off, because a lot of people think, okay, I'm grinding to get to this point. I'm at the top now I'm just stop. But you actually have to work to get to the top and continue to work to stay there.
Exactly.
And, most people don't look at it like that. Like, and
people think that you get it and then you got it forever.
Right.
But the whole time, person next to you
fighting for your spot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So and I can say that about football, but it's about life too.
Oh yeah.
Just like you at school. You're at school right now, and you're gonna go get your degree, and you go into the field, whatever field that you do. There's gonna be multiple other people doing the same thing you're doing.
Especially in the industry
and
with
you just really gotta figure out, right, exactly. And you gotta figure out what can separate you from everybody else. And I think that's the biggest part. People got to really sit down and identify that. And sometimes that's hard for you to do by yourself, like I said. So you got to make sure, once again, you got to make sure you're surrounded by the right people. So.
Right. Absolutely. I understand that. So what is the goal for this coming season for Jessie Bates?
Yeah. I've set myself up my first 4 years to be in a really good situation. You know, the average for being in the NFL is NFL usually stands for not for long.
Yeah.
It's 3 years, and I've kind of surpassed that. And like I said, I'm blessed to be able to be in that situation. So I'm going into my year 5 where, you know, a new contract may come upon, where I'm making some life-changing money. So like I said, I'm ready to be able to really impact my family, my friends, be able to continue to invest my money, show my people how to invest,
Right.
and just continue to break generational curses. You know, it's different. So many people are different. Everybody's journey is very different. But, you know, sometimes you got to go backwards. So right now, once I do this, you know what I'm saying, I go into my year 5. I go and handle what I need to handle. And then I want to go back and take care of my family, make sure they're set up, make sure they're at peace, so I can be able to focus on Jessie Bates. So, you know, the first 4 years, you making some good money, but at the same time, you never know. You
What
can
can
get hurt.
happen.
Exactly, you can get hurt, and you have to live off that couple million that you made in those first 4 years your whole entire life. So I've been able to be healthy. I've been able to get to that next contract, so I'm able to, you know,
even more understand get financial literacy.
Exactly. That, and be able to have the funds to actually do it. So it's an exciting time for me. It's an exciting time for my family, my friends. Because it's almost feel like it's coming in full circle, honestly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, those first couple years, you make that certain amount of money on that rookie contract, but that next contract, I think, really sets it up.
Sets the bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
it
are
resets
you actually
everything.
working for it? Are you here just to be here? Like, yeah. I absolutely understand that. That's great. So I noticed that you mentioned that Ray Lewis was your favorite player growing up, which was also my favorite player, which is really weird. And your mom taking you to your first game, which, as you said, full circle, the Bengals and the Ravens. So did you ever get to meet Ray Lewis?
No, I haven't. I haven't gotten to meet Ray Lewis. At some point, I'm gonna try to though, for sure. For sure.
Like younger, did you ever try to do his celebration dance?
Yeah, I mean, you can never go wrong with the Ray Lewis slide and then break it out. Yeah, I done definitely hit it a couple of times growing up.
Yeah, I love that about him. I love Ray Lewis. So, deep dive in just into HBCUs and PWIs. So everybody know Coach Prime going to Jackson State. So what is your take on athletes switching to HBCUs and him recruiting 5-star athletes? So what's your take on that?
I think it's great, man. It's good to see the norm switch over. And it's not going to be easy, obviously. It's easy for Coach Prime to go do it because he's Coach Prime. But being able to switch the narrative, I think, I think they'll have the same exact opportunities that if they were to go to a PWI. I think it's good for them to switch up what the norm is. And I mean, it's good, man. I grew up, but I went to Wake Forest, and Winston-Salem State was right up the street. We communicated with the football players, and they were, same people. A lot of times those kids didn't get the opportunities or, they didn't get the showcases that some of the kids that were at the PWIs got. And there's a lot of talent on that level. I got a lot of friends that came from the HBCU level. So I don't see I don't really view it differently. I think of it as both of them being an opportunity to present who you are, whether that's on the bigger level or if it's at the HBCU level. So
Perfect.
I think it's good for us to kind of close that gap.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. I think it's obviously money plays into it now.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how that comes into play. Now that, these kids are going to HBCUs, it's going to be more of a challenge because the HBCUs don't have the funding, the same funding as the PWIs have. So when these guys are getting these NIL deals, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be hard for them to kind of keep up with the competitiveness of the money that they're getting these 17, 18-year-old kids. So, yeah, I think that's a whole nother conversation right there.
Yeah.
But
So
if it's some college athletes watching this right now, make sure you pay your taxes when you get those NIL deals. Because I'm telling you, the IRS will come for your ass.
See, I didn't learn, because, in high school, they didn't really teach us, in-depth about taxes. So I didn't know, I had to pay taxes. I paid taxes last year.
Yep.
I'm why is all this stuff,
and now you got 18-year-old kids making six figures, and they just, you know what I'm saying, they getting these deals, and you know what I'm saying, they cutting these checks. People are cutting these checks to the kids, and they have no clue. They have no guidance of what taxes are.
Right. How to write a check, financial literacy.
Exactly. So
that's why it's really important.
It'll be interesting. It's good to see a lot of agencies are starting to get involved. Even my management company is getting involved with the NIL deals, with being able to educate these kids on financial literacy. And so, yeah.
Perfect. So what should, in your personal opinion, HBCUs be doing to get more five-star athletes and more funding?
Yeah. I think the more these five-star athletes go, the more of them that take the leap of faith to go to HBCUs, and to see these five stars have the same success that they would have on the Power 5 level. I think that's when it'll step it up to the next level, because it's hard. I mean, it's hard for a lot of people to go against the grain, against the norm. I know when I was coming out, I was committed to Toledo, which was a MAC school, not a Power 5 school. And I got an offer from Iowa and Wake Forest, and I was like, I got to go play on this Power 5 level for me to be seen.
Right.
But now that, five stars are going to these HBCUs, you're starting to have HBCU all-star games. We ain't never had that ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think the more five stars, the more high recruited people go to the HBCUs, they ain't gonna have no choice but to pay more attention to the HBCU. So, yeah. Absolutely.
So just deep diving into male and female athletes. So what do you think male athletes should do to support female athletes? For example, the whole Brittany Griner case with her being in Russia. What does you as a male athlete think of, just about that situation?
Yeah. Really, it comes down to us male athletes being able to support them, being able to gain more interest, gain more access to the female sport. I think people have that narrative of the female sport not as fun, not as exciting, but I have a sister who throws shot put, and I get excited about hearing about her numbers, her hitting her PR. It's the same thing as, us as males, hitting PRs and, setting up goals, setting up stuff to hit, throughout the season.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely a challenge, I think. We just got to continue to raise the awareness of the female sport, because we got a girl named Anaya Patterson. I think that's her name. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but she's going to UConn, and I think we're gonna know about her for a long time. We're gonna know about that name for a long time. So I'll be making sure I do my part to support her. Whoever it is, whoever else is coming out of Fort Wayne. Jordan Poole, I know we got some basketball players coming out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Out of Fort Wayne that are on that level. You know what I'm saying? So I think we're gonna be good. I think we gotta continue to raise the awareness, just like anything else.
Absolutely agree. So just going straight into the brands and your foundation, Just Believe and the Single Mothers. Is it single moms or single mothers?
Yeah, it's a single mothers initiative, my JB3 Single Mothers Initiative.
Yeah, can you just give us like a rundown
Yeah,
of
so,
what those are?
You know, I was coming out of, out of college, getting drafted, and I wanted to find something that I could focus on,
Right.
something that I can get back to. And a lot of times that's based off what you've experienced throughout your life. You know, some people want to support autism, just because maybe they've had some type of experience.
Right.
And the thing I thought of first was watching my mom grow up as a single mother, having to work 3 jobs just so we can have a nice Christmas.
Right.
It may have looked good. My mom made it look really good, but behind the scenes, I seen what it took for her to get that success and also support her kids the way she did.
Right.
And I know it wasn't easy. So being able to have that Single Mothers Initiative raises awareness, like I said, raises awareness of helping those single mothers. And like I said, just continue to raise it and continue to do different things throughout the year to help single mothers. Last year I did my Single Mothers Initiative around Christmas, where I reached out to the Cincinnati community, grabbed like 5 families, the kids, and, got them some gifts. Took them to the bowling alley, took them to the game, sat in the suite, my family, my friends. And that was Christmas for those kids. So
Right.
Really just being able to support the single moms. I know it's something that we all can relate to as well. In my field that I'm in, or even around the whole world, it's something that I think a lot of people can relate to. And just having opportunities, I think, as I continue to build it, I want to have scholarships, that I can give for single moms to go to school, go get their education.
That's perfect.
So there's multiple things that I have in my mind. I have a vision. I have a clear vision of what I want to do. So, stay tuned for more details on that.
I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the background of why I do it. Like I said, I watch my mom. I watch her grind. I watch her do it the right way. Like I said, that's why I am who I am today. So it's good to be able to get back to that.
Much respect.
Appreciate
What's her name? Mother Teresa?
Yeah, my mom,
Yes,
Teresa.
much respect to her. I know that you guys kind of partner with that as well, with giving gifts out and everything. And what a lot of people don't understand, like even with big time athletes, like they come from one parent homes, which is kind of like a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Exactly.
So
Missing out on that other side.
Right.
It's good. It's like you said, it's a blessing and it's a curse. I think the way a lot of people need to look at it, speaking from, having experience, is not using it as an excuse.
Right.
Being able to embrace it, be able to learn from. I learned a lot from watching my mom. What hard work looked like.
Right.
What having nice stuff to, what it took to have nice stuff. And like I said, I could talk all day about my mom, because I remember her going to work in the morning, dropping us off at school, coming home, cooking dinner, going to her night job. So just that work ethic, I think, is something that a lot of people lack, especially nowadays, this generation. I think COVID kind of messed up with the iPads. Everybody stuck to the iPads.
It's all
and
mental.
stuff. So yeah, it's all mental. And like I said, being able to have my mom show me what that looked like, it worked out. It worked out for sure. I'm blessed.
Much respect to her.
Appreciate
if she watched this,
Yeah,
much respect to you.
She watch everything. Trust me, she watch everything.
I love it. So you mentioned that you didn't finish school, but you do have plans on going back because you did make your mom a promise.
Yep.
So will you continue, to study sports medicine, was it?
Yeah, so...
Or are you switching it up?
Yeah, I had to switch it up. I didn't think I was going to leave after 3 years, but the opportunity presented itself.
Right.
And I had to go get what I went to college to get an education, but my main goal was to make it to the NFL and be able to support my family. So yeah, at some point I got to go back and get my degree.
Right.
Just not because of I need it. I don't think knock on wood. Hopefully I'll make up a lot of money.
Right.
And I'll be able to retire healthy. But being able to have the standard for, my nephews, my little brother,
right.
My kids one day that, go to school, go figure out something that you want to do. And it don't have to be football. It don't have to be a sport. It don't have to be anything like that. You can go be whatever you want.
Right.
So I think that's something that I have to go get just to be able to set the standard for not just me, but for my whole entire family. So
were you a first-generation college student?
So my sister went to college. I have an older sister. She went to college. And actually, my little sister is the first to graduate in my family from college. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so, it's a big deal. I think that's a big deal. And being able to educate myself, even though I'm not in college, I'm still educating myself on financial literacy. 529s, which is setting up, funds for my nephews, for my little brother, for them to go to school, set money aside, and just little stuff like that. I think people don't think about when they get in the NFL.
A lot of people don't know.
Right, they don't even know. So being able to have my team to educate me about that stuff and be able to set my family up for when they go to school, because a lot of times people of our color, we can't afford going to college. Sometimes it's the norm for different people, but being able to do something like that, I think that means a lot more than going to buy all these chains and stuff like that.
Right.
I think it's good for you to go put $25,000 up every year for it to build up, and you can go use it for, like I said, my nephew, my little brother, my niece, whoever that needs to have funding to go to school. So
right.
It's crazy.
Perfect.
It's crazy. It's a whole lot of stuff that we don't know that we got to continue to tap into. That we don't know,
but as long as we give it back to the community and put that in their head,
exactly.
As long as you're educated, a lot of people will just piggyback off that. So that small boy that was grinding every day, watching his mom come in, exhausted. So what would you tell your younger self right now?
I would say just eliminate all the BS. It's easy to, like I said, it's easy to go to do that. It's honestly, it's easier now.
Right.
With the technology that we have. I would say the same thing that I continue to tell my little brother and my nephews, my friends, is eliminate all your distractions, starve your distractions, and feed whatever your goals. Feed whatever that you want to do, feed that, and don't worry about what people think, what's cool, what's wrong, what's right. Because if you do, that's gonna cloud up a lot.
Right.
A lot of times people think cool is being out all night and doing all of this. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Just honing in on what's important and not forgetting
responsibilities.
Why you're doing what you're doing exactly. So be present. That's what I would say. Be present.
Mm-hmm. I actually like that response. I think I'm gonna take that into consideration. And just last but not least, so what is the one thing that you want people to remember you for? Whether it be football, whether it's your legacy.
I want people to remember not just me. I want people to remember what JB did for Wayne, what JB did for his family. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be an old man. Ain't nobody gonna care about Jessie making an interception in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What's really gonna matter is how I was able to impact different people, whether
Right.
that was in Fort Wayne, whether that's in Cincinnati, worldwide. Just being able to build my legacy and what that looks like.
Right.
It's something that I want to be remembered as. Yeah.
I know that's
I
right.
could talk all day about what I want to be remembered as, but
I mean, both as a great player and kind-hearted.
right, I just simply want to have my legacy, build a legacy not just for me, but for
Future generations.
my children, their
Right.
children, and be able to, like I said, get in front of the curve and not behind it. So.
Absolutely. Well, Jessie, thank you so much.
Of course, I appreciate
for
you.
This.
So it was real smooth.
Me
Look,
being a college
it's
student.
only our second time meeting each other right here, and that's how smooth it just went like that. So I
Yes,
appreciate you.
absolutely. It was nice meeting you.
Absolutely.